Please do not dispose of any type of waste into the sea. Well, that's a shame, innit? Because I was planning on having a massive fucking turd in there. A big fucking log, a massive dump, a shit, a shite, whatever you want to fucking call.
What the fuck was that? I don't even want to do the intro. That fucking sucked. All this build up, all this hype for months. We waited a year because Jon Jones held on this stupid fucking belt, and that's what we got. Absolutely disgusting, disgraceful. It really is a shame it had to happen that way. Overall, the card was decent. I mean, I thought the main event kind of sucked. Obviously, the main event sucked. The co-main was whatever. The main card was okay. The prelims were fire. But what the fuck? Let's get into breaking down UFC 321, Aspinall versus Gane. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And sorry if we're all over the place here with Tom Aspinall's Ciryl Gane breakdown. Because this was fucking ridiculous. Now, I want to say something first of all about Tom Aspinall. And I'm also partially to blame this. I said there was a better chance that Jesus Christ himself was going to come down than Ciryl Gane winning or this fight getting out of the fucking first round. And I guess technically I was right because it didn't get out of the first round. But what the fuck was that? I mean, I'll say this about Ciryl Gane. He was stinging Jon Jones with the jab. We knew one of the weaknesses of Tom Aspinall. I said stinging Jon Jones. He was stinging Tom Aspinall with the jab. Tom Aspinall was bleeding. One of the weaknesses of Tom Aspinall, his shitty striking defense. That chin is up. It's vulnerable, but I figured Ciryl Gane's a bitch. He's a pussy. He's from France. He's not gonna be able to do shit. He was stinging him. He was getting his low kicks working. He even stuffed the fucking takedown. And Tom Aspinall, I feel like in the beginning, wasn't taking this shit very seriously. At least that's how it looked like to me. I was like, he underestimated Ciryl Gane. And then Tom Aspinall tried this twice. One of them kind of landed. This dumb spinning back kick. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Tom? What the fuck are you doing? And then the second one, he spun in slow motion and missed. And then he just laughs with Ciryl Gane. They smile. And then it ultimately leads to the fucking double eye poke of Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane didn't deserve to be here in the first place. And then he does that bullshit right there. Fucking ridiculous. I'm at a loss for words. Because when it happened, I was like, oh, it looked like a bad eye poke initially. And I was like, oh, he'll be fine. He'll be able to continue. And then they show the fucking replay. Double poke in the eyes, knuckle deep. And then the stupid Saudi Arabian crowd, which sucks. They suck. They're awful. They have the audacity to boo Tom Aspinall. To boo him. Because he got fucked in the eye by Ciryl Gane. That was a hit sent out by Jon Jones. Jon Jones sent that fucking hit out on Tom Aspinall. He said, Ciryl Gane, you lost to me. And here's how you're going to beat Tom Aspinall. You're going to drive your two fingers into his eyes as deep as you can. And render him blind. Because that's what fucking happened. Fucking ridiculous. I think I've broken the record for amount of times I said fuck. And I said I'd start cursing less. Fucking bullshit. And I'll also say this. There's a couple of losers from this fight. Obviously, the fans are a loser. My screen froze momentarily for a second there. Obviously, the fans are a loser. Ciryl Gane's kind of a loser, too. So is Tom Aspinall. Everybody's a loser. But Alexander Volkov, he's a loser, too, because he figured, oh, Tom Aspinall wins this. I'm next up for the title shot. Now he's got to wait. Because this fight's got to get rebooked. It has to get rebooked. Got to get rebooked probably in December. Or whenever. I don't know. But I'll also say this. Tom Aspinall looks a lot more beatable after this. We were describing Tom Aspinall. He's a marauder. Nobody could beat him. And rightfully so. He ran through everybody. Pavlovich, Spivak, fucking Curtis Blades. Whoever was in front of him, he fucking destroyed. But now Ciryl Gane made him look kind of human. Ciryl Gane, listen, you could say Tom Aspinall was up on the scorecard. You could say Ciryl Gane was up on the scorecard. But it was close. It was fucking close. You can't deny that. He made Tom Aspinall look human. And also, if I was Jon Jones or Alex Pereira, I think Alex Pereira just put something on Instagram that I reposted. If I'm looking at this, I'm like, why? And this is going to sound ridiculous, and this might age awfully. Why the fuck can't I come back? And why can't, if I'm Jon Jones, why can't I come back and beat Tom Aspinall? That's insane to say. I hate Jon Jones. I hate Jon Jones. But if I was watching this fight, I'm Jon Jones, who's probably tweeting away right now as I'm making this video. Tom Aspinall looked human. And for all we know, he could come back and if they fight again December and make all the necessary adjustments and blow through Ciryl Gane, which I think is what's going to happen. I think he's going to beat Ciryl Gane bad. And maybe I won't pick him by fucking first round Kimura. And if I'm Alex Pereira, I definitely think, because if Alex Pereira's not washed like Jon Jones is, Jon Jones is definitely washed. So if I'm Alex Pereira, you want this fight fucking booked. And Tom Aspinall now, You know, you gotta worry. You really gotta come fucking laser sharp when you fight Ciryl Gane again in December. But absolutely devastating. All the Jon Jones fanboys and Tom Aspinall haters are fucking going nuts. I mean, I don't know what you want Tom Aspinall to do. He got his eyes fucked. He got fucked in the eyes. I'm sorry if I'm loud. Don't play this around kids because I curse a lot. But just, I can't believe this happened. And I said it. I'm going to say it again. Those stupid Saudi Arabian fans, or Abu Dhabi, wherever the fuck we were, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia. These dumb fucks that are ungrateful fans, they just give us money so Dana White goes over there. It sucks. I hate it. I hate them. I hate the UAE. I hate everybody. Fuck them. Bunch of ungrateful fucks. Booing Tom Aspinall. He said it to DC himself. He's like, you know, I can't see shit, mate. I just did an Australian accent there. But he can't see shit. I can't fucking believe it. All my days, Tom Aspinall. Just so... fuck! I feel bad for Tom, though, because he's waited all this time because Jon Jones wasted part of his prime. And then he really didn't look great, in my opinion. And then he gets poked in the fucking eye. Just an absolute stinker of a main event. The co-main sucked, too, so it's kind of just like, we were on a lull after really some banger prelims and some cool fights on the main card. But, man, it just sucks. I was so excited to watch Tom Aspinall just blast Ciryl Gane. That didn't happen. I'm trying to think if there's any other takeaways I have from this fight. Other than Ciryl Gane made it look kind of close. I mean, Ciryl Gane, he's a cheating fuck. There's not much more to say. It happened so fast. Do I want to just move on to the rest of the card? You know what I mean? Let me think. Is there anything else I even want to say about this Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane fight? Really nothing. Just disappointed. Devastated for Aspinall. I do feel a little bit for Ciryl Gane in terms of, you know, he probably knows deep down he doesn't deserve to be here whatsoever. And then he was actually beating Tom Aspinall a little bit. And I can almost guarantee when the rematch happens, he'll just get slimed out. That's my prediction. I'll double down again on Tom Aspinall finishing, even though I was not encouraged whatsoever by anything I've seen. But this fight definitely makes me think Alex Pereira can get a third belt. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to leave it out there. I don't care how fast fucking Tom Aspinall was. He was dicking around in this fight, smiling and doing a bunch of bullshit. So, whatever. Fucking moving down the card we go. Verna Jandiroba versus Mackenzie Dern. Now, I have some notes prepared for this fight. But truly, I don't really give a fuck about this fight. It was actually a semi-entertaining scrap. You look at the total strikes, they were fucking throwing at each other. I thought Mackenzie Dern landed some nice shots on the feet. My real takeaway from this fight is like, what really made this fight kind of a lull was like, it didn't even matter how many times they landed clean on each other. Like, you knew nobody was getting dropped. Like, they just don't have that power. I thought Verna Jandiroba did it. She was really aggressive with the takedowns. Got Mackenzie Dern, I think it was the most time she'd ever been taken down in the UFC. Other than that, you know, see, is there anything else I have in here? There was some Mackenzie Dern glove pulls on the ground, and Mark Goddard just sat there and did nothing. They wobbled each other a little bit at times. You knew they weren't going to let Mackenzie Dern lose this. I actually blame partially myself for even picking Mackenzie Dern or Verna Jandiroba, because you knew the UFC wanted Mackenzie Dern to win. It was written in the stars. They put her all over embedded. The cameramen were zooming in on her ass all week. You knew it was gonna fucking happen. There was no way that Mackenzie Dern was gonna lose this, and she won the fight anyway. I'm not gonna argue for Verna Jandiroba, but a semi-entertaining fight. I'll say that it was better than expected, but it still sucked because there was really no point where you thought anybody was actually going to lose. So yeah, good for Mackenzie Dern. I can't believe she's champion. She's not any good. You know, when you move Zhang Weili, you know, out of the division, it's like, why do we care about any of these girls? And I wish I could give you a better, you know, in-depth breakdown of some of these, you know, women's fights, but they don't really get me going. The prelim ones are usually more fun than the fucking, you know, the ones that get in the main card or the upper prelims. Zhang Weili versus Shevchenko will be great, and you'll get a full thing of that. But whatever. Fucking moving down the card we go. This was a fun fight, in my opinion. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Mario Bautista. Mario shitbag Bautista. Actually, he had I thought he performed well. I thought, man, how funny would it be if Mario Bautista fluked the fucking win. You know, Umar immediately shoots. You know, he had like a nice, then I think there was another sequence where he slammed him earlier in that first round. Then Mario Bautista had this like little heel hook ankle lock that rarely works. I mean, how many times do you ever see that work? But it looked in tight. Like he was really fucking pulling on that ankle. And then Umar did a nice job maneuvering his way out of that. Then he got on top, was landing some nice punches and elbows. He had a body triangle in that round. And then I had him 10-9 in the first round. I think that was pretty easy. He had a ton of control time. He did his job. Then in the beginning of that second round, I jumped out of my seat. Mario Bautista drops fucking Umar with a knee. And then, you know, he jumps in on Umar. Then, like, Umar kind of shoots the takedown, I think. And there was a nice scramble, a nice sequence from Mario Bautista. I thought Mario Bautista did a good job scrambling. Like, I think by the end of the fight, he was completely drained and drowned out by the wrestling of Umar, which I predicted. I figured that would happen. But I thought he did a decent job. Like, I'll give Mario Bautista his credit. I think he could beat a lot of the other dudes within the top 10. I just don't think he's not at that Merab level. He's not at that Umar level. He's not at Corey Sandhagen level, Sean O'Malley. Like, he's not in that top 5 level, but I think he could beat really anybody else in that top, 6 to 10 range. You know what I mean? Like, Zahabi, I know he'd beat Figgy. And as much as I like to shit on Mario Bautista, I was still impressed by his performance. But on the feet, I actually thought when this fight was on the feet, because there were some great grappling exchanges, when it was on the feet, it was pretty entertaining. Like, Umar, he can throw. Mario Bautista can too. He just really didn't have throw a lot of strikes. She's like burped, but mainly because he just kept getting taken down so many times. Yeah, also there were a lot of instances where Umar had the body lock in, had his back, just couldn't get the submission in. Mario Bautista did a good job finding his hands. He did a great job scrambling. He just got drowned by the wrestling at the end of the day. I mean, 11 out of 14 takedowns for Umar. He just couldn't get anything, and Umar only shot one, or Mario Bautista only shot fucking once. So, it was exactly how you figured it would be. You figured Umar would drown him out with the wrestling, and Mario Bautista really didn't stand a chance. He's not there yet, buddy. You're not there yet, kid. Moving down the card we go. Let me start with something. Fuck Jailton Almeida. This bitch. He's a loser. I have zero respect for him. I'm happy Volkov won, and there were some people saying, like a good robbery. It really wasn't a robbery. I mean, Jailton Almeida, he threw 27 total strikes in this fight. He didn't try to do shit. Sure, he had 7 takedowns. Volkov couldn't stuff shit. Whatever. And I praise some of Alexander Volkov's offensive and defensive grappling. I thought he did a good job on the ground, maneuvering around. He threw up like a reverse triangle at one point. Like he did it. Listen, there's not like Jailton Almeida threw anything on the ground, but he was doing a good job, I thought, defensively, like avoiding taking damage. You know what I mean? He looked dangerous before the fight and then just got immediately taken down. I liked in the beginning when he first got taken down, Alexander Volkov just drilling elbows to the back of Jailton Almeida's head. Hey, if they're not going to do anything, just do it. Then I think Jailton Almeida was sitting on him pretty much, like had him flattened out. Volkov did a nice job reversal. He was getting elbows on the side of the head. And then Almeida was fucking hooking his glove in the first. So he's a cheating fuck, too. Not only is he boring and he should be cut from the UFC, he was hooking his glove to stop ground and pound, so he's a loser. I thought 10-9 Volkov first round. Then, of course, round 2 starts. Another fucking takedown for Volkov. Volkov's not really getting in the cage. He was landing some elbows on the bottom because Jailton Almeida refused to throw a punch or anything. Volkov would keep getting back up again at certain points of this fight and then just get taken down. Goddard made him stand up, which I like because Jailton Almeida literally does nothing. Alexander Volkov was like cranking a Kimura in that second round, but I figured out Jailton Almeida, he gets that one. And then round 3, there was like a nice reversal on a single leg from Volkov off of Almeida. He had a lot of nice knees up along the cage, which is probably what won him this fight. Then Jailton Almeida, he kind of had where he shot and there was a nice sprawl, and that was when the reverse triangle happened when Volkov was on the bottom. And then they made him stand back up again, and Almeida ended with another fucking takedown. So this dude, if you didn't watch this fight, it could be simplified in this. Jailton Almeida shot a bunch of takedowns, landed most of them, didn't even throw a bitch punch on he didn't even do anything on the ground. It was impressive. He threw up no submissions. It was like, what was his game plan? I have zero clue what his game plan was. Fuck that lizard, he lost. Whatever lab you crawled out of, go back to. You suck. I despise Jailton Almeida, and I was giving him his props, like being, he's this great wrestler. And usually, I've seen him on the feet. He can be okay on the feet, and he has submission wins on the UFC. But I do think he kind of lacks that X factor in terms of like elite finishing jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like you're not that guy, pal. I was stunned that the refs didn't just go with Jailton Almeida, because there were refs that, they see all those takedowns and control time, so that means he must have won. He didn't do shit. I think Dana made this call though, because he said he was going to get Volkov back, and they weren't going to screw him over, especially after that Gane fight. They were going to make it up to him. I think they made it up to him here. Happy for Alexander Volkov. Just sucks that, you had that Aspinall Gane bullshit with the eye poke. So now Volkov's got to sit around and be like, what's next for me? And I love Alexander Volkov. Wholesome dude, Qui-Gon Jinn, fought a lot of aura, dangerous dude. This was really just if you were watching Alexander Volkov for the first time, I don't think you would have been super impressed by his performance today. Because Jailton Almeida sucks and takes the fun out of literally everything. $80 billion company, and I can't shut the fucking screen. Anyway, first fight of the main card, Alexander Rakic versus Azamat Murzakanov. Shame on me for picking Alexander Rakic, because I said this dude's chin's absolutely awful. And he hasn't had a highlight since 2019 in the Reebok era. And he started out with some kicks. He was throwing some nice low kicks. Then he did this dumb takedown where he drove Murzakanov into the cage. And then Azamat kind of defended a deep single leg from Rakic really well. And then rolled over, got back up. And then I blinked. I was typing my notes out. And I just look up and Alexander Rakic has been slept on the ground with a jab. He just got hit with a stiff jab and just died. And I was like, that's how bad his chin is. He should honestly move up to heavyweight or retire. Because his glass chin is awful. Dropped with a fucking jab. He lost to a taxi cab driver. A homeless, fat-looking Volk. Then the camera panned to Steve Harvey in the crowd with a bunch of Saudis. And the crowd, because they don't react to anything. These dumb fucking UAE oil tycoon losers. Fuck them all. I don't care if they see this. I don't care if they send a hit out on me. That crowd needs to be better. They sucked. They booed Tom Aspinall. They didn't react to any celebrities except maybe Wayne Rooney. Fuck them. Moving on to the prelims. Sorry if that was a lot of echo. Am I happy to be wrong about this one? Nasrat Haqparast versus Quillan Salkilld. Thank fucking God Quillan Salkilld won this. Oh my days. That was a British accent, but thank God Quillan Salkilld won this. Quillan Salkilld kept doing this dumb bullshit where he was shooting takedowns from so far away and Nasrat was stuffing them. He has elite, takedown defense. And he was telegraphing his takedowns from so far away. I thought he was doing a nice job landing kicks to the body of Nasrat. But then, next thing you know, they're in the middle of the octagon. He fucking lands this high kick, and you're like, oh my, fucking Quillan Salkilld, oh my God, Quillan Salkilld, he fucking dropped him, oh my God. It was amazing. I was so happy. I've loved Quillan Salkilld for a long time. He has a little nice following on TikTok with dudes posting edits. I followed him for a while. I love Quillan Salkilld, and I feel ashamed that I went against one of my guys. But it was logical. I mean, Quillan Salkilld was beating up on random, immigrants that came into America and just beat the shit out of all of them. They all sucked. And I thought Quillan Salkilld, he's very skilled. He has good wrestling. He's got good boxing. But I was like, this is a big step up in competition for a guy in Nasrat he's fought a lot of legit dudes and he's on the outside of the rankings looking in. He has good experience. But credit to fucking Quillan Salkilld. I'm so happy he won. Australia forever. I hope he got his 50K. I think he did. I don't know if it's been announced yet because of how fast I got this off. But I hope he got his 50K. He literally crushed him. He was flatline seizing. He didn't get up forever. It was so silent in there. That was the one thing I give respect to the fucking people in the arena. They just sat there and didn't even know what to say. Give him a ranked opponent. He's nasty. He did it on 10 days notice. He's cut 13 kilos for this. I don't even know what that is in pounds. But credit to fucking Quillan Salkilld. What a beast. Give him ranked. We're coming for Ilya, Quill. We're coming for Ilya. Ilya, watch out. This big-ass, beautiful Australian dude. Nicest mustache mullet combo you'll ever see. We're coming for you next, bitch. Down the card we go. Ikram Aliskerov versus Young Park Iron Turtle. Ikram supposedly this great striker. He didn't strike for shit. I thought the Iron Turtle, he was doing a good job in the boxing exchanges. Would just get taken down so easily. He couldn't stuff takedowns for shit. There was an early nut shot. I think there were 2 nut shots on the Iron Turtle. He got fucking drilled twice. The second one was a little eh. But he was doing a really nice job landing over the top. His boxing was great. But Ikram Aliskerov, he was just landing takedowns. He was getting the back of Young Park. Couldn't get a submission down or anything, but he was getting takedowns throughout. I kind of figured Iron Turtle won that first round based on damage. Park stumbled him in that second round, and then Ikram also landed a knee and then slipped in that second round too, I believe. There were some nice kicks from Ikram Aliskerov. Anything else in my notes here? They were scrapping in round 2. There was also a beautiful double leg in that where he just sent the Iron Turtle on his ass, and he was landing shots along the fence. At that point, I figured I figured this. I said, even though I thought Iron Turtle won with 1 round 1 on damage, it was probably 2-0 Aliskerov. And it was a very tough fight. Park was better on the feet, but he couldn't do shit. Round 3 was kind of more of the same in terms of... Park kind of actually tried to come out aggressively, trying to grapple, and that just didn't work whatsoever. Landed takedown. He just needed to be smart. Iron Turtle wasn't good enough. Just whatever. He's nothing special. Shame that he lost. Good win for Ikram Aliskerov. I'm not super impressed because this guy, I think, people were talking about like he's the best Dagestani striker. He wasn't anything exciting. He was pretty boring. Whatever. Fuck these dudes. Fuck this card, bro. Even though a lot of good fights. But anyway, down the card we go. Ludwig Klein versus Mateusz Rebecki. This was a banger of a fight. Ludwig Klein was put on like a technical masterpiece for those first 2 rounds. I mean, he wobbled Rebecki multiple times. Wasn't really looking for a finish in terms of being super aggressive, but was just continuing to put it on him. I mean, Rebecki would just swing and hit fucking Ludwig Klein's shoulders, and Ludwig Klein was landing knees to the body. He was landing knees to the body. There was takedowns stuffed by Ludwig Klein from Mateusz Rebecki. He just was doing great, landing the counter left, landing the counter right in his 1-2, and he even landed a head kick somewhere in that round. Round 2 again, he wobbled again. I wanted him to push the pace more because you felt like there was a finish somewhere in there. But I'll give credit to Rebecki. His recovery is insane. For all the wars this dude has been through, he recovers very nicely. I think he had a nice single leg that round. His mouthpiece fell out too on nothing. He was bleeding everywhere. I mean, it was awful. Then he got wobbled again in that round he got caught with a right hand counter from Klein. He was just striking masterclass up to this point. And then Rebecki comes out firing in that 3rd round. He lands a takedown against the fence, and that's where Ludwig Klein's fucking ankle snaps or whatever, breaks. And he's blasting Ludwig Klein on the ground. I mean, you think there was so much blood primarily from Rebecki, but you figured the fight was going to be over. I thought they were going to call it. I thought he was going to go out. Thank God Ludwig Klein was still landing elbows from bottom position and kept opening up Rebecki. I hope Mateusz Rebecki doesn't have AIDS, because if he has AIDS, Ludwig Klein had so much blood all over him, he's going to die. Easy-E style, dead. He broke his foot and still survived. He's a warrior, Ludwig Klein. Majority decision. I thought it could have been a draw, but I picked Klein, so obviously I was biased. I was saying, Ludwig Klein, you deserve to win this. They interviewed him on the fucking stool. He's a beast, bro. Hopefully... I saw Ludwig Klein versus Rafael Fiziev would be a banger fight. Just saying. I would really want to see that. Just 2 elite level strikers. Ludwig Klein can really push a nice pace. He's very technical too. So Fiziev, he's not going to throw a ton of output, but he also is very, he's very smooth in his striking and beautiful to watch. So I'd really want to see that fight happen. Make it happen, Dana. Ludwig Klein versus Rafael Fiziev. Moving down the card we go. I mean, we knew this was going to happen. This was the freest pick of the fucking night. Walter Walker versus Louis Sutherland. Louis Sutherland built like King Robert from Game of Thrones. Louis Sutherland just has this comical looking build. I just want to put that out there. They were spamming low kicks early. I thought actually Louis Sutherland initially looked like he landed like a nice right or a left on Walter Walker. And then Walter Walker blasted the double leg. And then it was over. It was ridiculous. 4 in a row. He's just figured out a loophole. Louis Sutherland, he's not good. Is he better than Muhammad Usman? I don't really know. They got to give Walter Walker a legit guy. I'd give him Tybura, Spivak, one of those dudes. Some guy in kind of the bottom half of the rankings. He's coming for Tom Aspinall next. At this point, and Walter Walker, he could beat Tom Aspinall. And he had one of my favorite post-fight interviews I've seen in a while. He rambling in Brazilian, and then also I think he was speaking Russian, and then he fucking is like, I could speak English too. And then he starts speaking English. And I turn away for a second and I hear the words, he's calling out the fucking Hamdi, whatever, Hamdi Abdelwahab. And he's like, you think like you're tough for beating that chocolate Peppa Pig big man. And he's talking about Chris fucking Barnett. That was so funny. Chris Barnett, he should never return to the octagon. I don't ever want to see him again. He should retire because chocolate Peppa Pig. That was awful. I was laughing so hard. Yeah, give him Tybura, Spivak, Walter Walker. Guy's so entertaining. I love him and his brother Johnny Walker. What a fucking chocolate Peppa Pig. I'm putting that in the thumbnail, chocolate Peppa Pig. Whatever. Down the card we go. This is a robbery. Nathaniel Wood versus Jose Miguel Delgado. What a fucking scrap, though. Round one, Nathaniel Wood, this guy gets in the balls more than anybody. He got kicked in the nuts. They were having a nice scrap. He wobbled Nathaniel Wood, cracked him with his hands. And then Jose Miguel Delgado, he clipped Nathaniel Wood with a high kick and then drilled him with a spinning back fist, dropped him, couldn't get the ground and pound. Wood survives. His nose was shattered. But then Nathaniel Wood dropped Jose Miguel Delgado with a right? But you still feel like Jose Delgado, he did more damage in that first round. Round two comes around, and again, the kicks were good from Delgado. Wood just did a nice job eating a lot of shots. He was landing low kicks pretty consistently. Delgado, then he got kneed in the face, ate it like it was fucking nothing. What else fucking happened? There was another nut shot that round. No points were taken because it was kind of like upper groin. I don't know. He barely grazed him, but Wood landed nice shots. I thought he took that round. I thought Jose Miguel Delgado, he needed to mix in his kicks a little bit more. And then third round, those guys, you could tell they were a little bit gassed because how much they had put on each other and the pace they had pushed. They're picking at each other from range. They were landing a lot of shots on one another. Wood stuffed a takedown from Delgado. Then he missed like a spinning elbow, and then Delgado missed a spinning elbow. Wood took his back, or Wood couldn't take his back, and then Delgado landed a takedown. I thought Delgado, he was a lot better in the pocket up close in terms of he was landing those knees and elbows that were devastating. And I figured, when the fight ended, I was like, Jose Miguel Delgado, he had to have won this fight. I mean, he's a prospect. You figure there's a little bit of bias. Nathaniel Wood, he's not really a prospect anymore, even though it's a nickname. Then they gave it to him, and it was unanimous decision, which I was like, split decision, and maybe that makes sense. I can't believe it. And then I had this question: is Nathaniel Wood secretly Middle Eastern? Or is he Dagestani? Is his name Nathaniel Woodov? You know what I mean? I think Delgado's still a great prospect. Takes a little bit of the wind out of the sails from him. But if anything, just buy stock down on Jose Miguel Delgado, because Nathaniel Wood is legit. This isn't a bad loss whatsoever, especially if you could argue that he won it. But yeah, great fight, great scrap. Honestly, that might have been the best fight on the card. Down the card we go. This was Hamdi Abdelwahab versus Chris Barnett. Chris Barnett was absolutely awful, gross. I wrote so much about this. I mean, who does this to Chris Barnett, guys? Hamdi Abdelwahab. Who does that to Chris Barnett? He put on a Tour de France of grappling, or Tour de Force of grappling. I heard Joe Rogan say that recently. I actually will say this. As much as you could call them both blobs, I thought Hamdi pushed a nice pace. He was blasting double legs. He was so fast. He just had him at a body lock. He was drilling shots to the back of Chris Barnett's head, elbows. Chris Barnett, they have to stop the fight, and then he's good enough to continue. He was getting drilled in the back of that. He's so fat, Chris Barnett. He was really selling it. Mark Goddard, I was like, thank God he took a point. I was like, that's good. That's good officiating right there. Hamdi also was landing some nice elbows in the clinch. And then Chris Barnett, his pants just kept falling down this entire fight. It was ridiculous how many times his pants fell down. Fucking, what else? What is this? Fucking coaches. Oh, and then in the round two, so they come back from commercial break, and fucking, it cuts to Chris Barnett, and the coaches are tucking his fat stomach into his shorts and retying them. Actually, at one point, he did show good takedown defense in this round, but he gets swept against the cage, and he's just writhing in pain. You're like, oh no, his diabetic foot just went out. I'll give credit to Hamdi again. He pushed pace the whole time. Chris Barnett, his ass comes out in this round. You just see all cheek. A dark moon arises over the Ethod Arena in the UAE. It was ridiculous. And his only offense the whole fight, 20-inch strikes, it actually seems like too much. He would flick a calf kick and then threw like a failed wheel kick, and that got a little, the crowd awake a little bit. He just took him down. I don't know. Chris Barnett's pants just kept coming off. And then Mark Goddard at one point stood them up for literally nothing. Like, they got on the ground and he stood him up after 5 seconds. He's like, I can't bear to see Chris Barnett's ass out. I need this dude to pull his pants up. It was awful. Chris Barnett, bro, he just pulling his fucking ass was out so many times. It was ridiculous. Whatever. Yeah, fucking Chris Barnett, they have to cut you, bro. You were awful. These two fights, I watched probably most of this fight. Azat Maksum versus Raposo. Azat, you fucking suck. The fact that this dude lost to Charles Johnson and whatever the fucking other guy he's lost to, the ranked dude. It's such a stupid fight. I mean, Raposo probably won this. He won the second, and he would throw this dumb combo. We go 1-2, and then he would land clean on Azad, and then just wouldn't follow up with anything. He's again, the volume again was not really there for him. He did a good job stuffing takedowns. I mean, 7-19 takedowns landed from Azad Maksum is shitty. Then in round 3, there was an egregious fence grab in this round. That actually a point got taken away from. I was like, the officials got their shit together in this card, in my opinion. Besides the Mark Goddard standing up Chris Barnett and Hamdi Abdelwahab for no reason, I thought the officials were actually overall pretty solid. And Raposo was a plus 350 underdog, which was a nice win for him. These dudes, they fucking suck. They blow. Whatever. Good win for Raposo. First UFC win for him. And then the first fight, another big upset. Good one for Mizuki. I barely watched this. I saw that she was really pushing the pace. She looked much better. She was a lot more aggressive. And I caught the end of it, and Amorim looked absolutely fucking gassed. She looked shitty. So a good one for Mizuki. Good win for her. She kind of looks like an extra in Tokyo Drift. That might have been racist, but I don't care. Overall, prelims were an absolute banger. The main event was just so disappointing and so shitty that what do you even want me to say? I still have no words. I'm gonna check. I'm sure there's some stuff that's come out of my phone since filming this, but it's just so devastating. To have waited a year plus for Tom Aspinall to fight, and then it ends like this is just so. It's so sad. The fucking crowd booing him. Fuck those losers. John Jones is probably tweeting away like a fucking loser. Whatever. I could say a lot. I don't know. I don't have much more else to say. I feel like I've said my piece, Chrissy. I've said my piece, Chrissy. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Maybe we'll do a matchmaking video. I'm honestly so done with this card. I'm just so upset it ended like this. I don't even know if I want to do another video about this card. It was just sad how it ended. Yeah, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Fuck Gane. Fuck John Jones. Fuck the UFC. Fuck eye pokes. Fuck everybody, bro. This absolutely sucked. Doctors signing off.